Hello, welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Fonta, Flora Brewing Company out of Nebo, North Carolina. This beer is called Sandorvass. You can see there it says Mixed Culture Ale. Or Sandorvass, sorry. It's Mixed Culture Kvass aged on rhubarb and mint. And it is 2.8 ABV, like all of their, I think all the Kvasses are, I know they're all really low, but I think they're all 2.8. And, yeah, that's all I got on this one. So, I'm going to crack it open and see what we got. Generally, I don't like necessarily having beers super cold. I guess for this style it's more appropriate, but their saisons and mixed culture stuff, I feel like I absolutely have to have it, have to have them pretty cold because they just gush. There we go. Just like to try to do a 50-50 pour, I guess. You can see it pours a pretty transparent, darker straw. I would say it's not like as light as Miller Lite, but it's not quite golden either. With a pretty thin white head, which I would say is pretty standard for this style of beer. Anything that's usually inoculated with wild yeast usually doesn't hold a head for very long. So I did try this on tap at the brewery, but I honestly, I know I liked it, but I don't remember too much about it. It's not like I was real drunk or anything. I just don't remember. I think I had it in like a flight or something, so I didn't have a whole pour of it either. Ooh. So I do remember thinking, like, before I even tried it, thinking, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to buy bottles of this one or not, because I'm not the biggest mint fan. But if there's one thing that Todd is really good at, it's adding weird things to beers where you can perceive them, but they're really subtle at the same time. So I really appreciate that. A lot of his beers, sometimes they have things in them that I'm like, I don't know if I like that because I'm not the biggest fan of this or that, like mushrooms. And you get them, but they're so mild and well integrated into the beer that it works, and it just doesn't matter. Like ginger is another one in Freaks the Clips. But I'm not getting any mint in the aroma at all. I will say this is very musty. Like, this honestly smells more musty than some of their saisons. It's very, it's kind of like, obviously, like, damp basement is a generic term. But to me, it almost just smells like if you went into like a really old library, like an old with all those old like stained books and stuff. Just very dusty. And there is a little bit of like a grape skin aroma too. Wow. That's way better than I remember it being. I'm so glad I bought this now. Not to say that it was bad before. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't like it at all before. But this is killer. I'm not getting any mint at all, which to me, actually, I do get it like very, very slightly in the back of the throat, but that again, it's even a little more subtle than some of their stuff generally is, but that's fine. I think it's perfect. I do think I get a little bit of that rhubarb I'm not like 100% sure exactly what rhubarb tastes like. Always, I've had like strawberry rhubarb type stuff. I never eaten rhubarb by itself, but it has like a little bit of an earthy herbal, like vegetal character to it, but not like vegetal like a brewing flaw. Almost just like beats, rhythms, beats, rhymes, or rhythms in life. Their beet saison kind of has that same character from the beets. That's in this as well. Really nice, musty, minerally flavor. And the other thing that I really like about it is this kind of separates it from like the mixed culture saisons. Is it does have a slight acidity, you know, that you can tell that it's wild, but it's like it's less acidic than even their saisons, which aren't that acidic. But usually the saisons, and especially the AWAS bottles, like the acidity and the funk goes through you taste it through the whole beer. In this, that's really weird. I just burped and it was like straight watermelon. That's really weird. In this, you get that funk and minerality up front, and then it kind of washes away into like this really nice, bright, like sourdough bready finish, which makes sense because it's a kvass, but it's also something that I mean I get that flavor in some other in like pilsners and stuff too. So it could just be from the grain that they're using. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it does. Yeah, so there's rye in this too. And that could be accounting for some of like the spicy character that I thought was from the rhubarb. I'm not sure. It's like it's so flavorful for such a low ABV beer, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense that this is 2.8% because it's so nimble. Like there's a lot of complexity going on, but none of it is even remotely dominating the beer. And as a whole, it's still like a really light, refreshing flavor. You know, this is truly something that I could drink like all day. I mean, this is a true table beer if there was one for sure. It has a lot of complexity, but like I said, it's so well refined and light that I could just drink this all day. And you can drink it all day because it's only 2.8%. So that, you know, that's the big perk of that as well. So on my scale of buy, drink, dump, I'm definitely going to give this a buy. I think it was like $10 for the 750, which might sound like a lot to some people because it's only 2.8%, but if you tasted it, you would understand that it's absolutely worth that money. $5 for like a standard 12-ounce pour of like a really nice mixed culture beer, which is what this is, regardless of what the ABV is a really good deal. So this is definitely a buy for me. But I'm not surprised at all. You know, they just constantly put out bangers, and that's all there is to it. And tomorrow I'm going to their 6th anniversary, their Rhythm Rug release. They're going to have Gin Barrel Rhythm Rug on tap, and also their first big bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout right before they do their barrel-aged program or barrel-aged club thing. So they're really putting their neck out on the line with that one, because if people don't like that, they're probably not going to join the club. But if people do really like it, then they're going to get a lot of money off of it. So it really is a risk, and I would assume they wouldn't do that unless they knew it was really good. So I'm really crossing my fingers that it is. And I will definitely do a review of that at some point when I grab some bottles of it. So I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.